you see, damn, Liz was fucked up out here. She's 110 pounds when she's naturally a $160. She was fucked up out here. She doing dates on the Ave, getting high, robbing, stealing, whatever. And then for me to be able to come back, yo, I know her. I know how fucked up she was. If she could do it, there's no reason why any of us can't do that.
Absolutely.
So maybe I could come back and give somebody some hope.
That's what it's all about. Lifting each other up instead of putting each other down, right? So let's talk about, you know, out here currently in Kensington, what all drugs are you struggling with?
This fentanyl tranquilizer first and foremost, and whatever else is in those blue bags. God only knows. I know a couple years ago I had some skin tested, scars up and down my legs from paint thinner, battery acid. God only knows. Meat tenderizer, crazy things coming back in skin samples. Nowadays it's like the tranquilizer burns. Fortunately, I'm not going through that. That's much more seen in this purple dope they got out here with the xylazine that they're putting in it. I'm fortunate enough to have a good head on my shoulders in that notion to say, all right, well, at least I'm not going to do that. I see people getting limbs cut off, people I was just out here getting high with just a couple years ago, and they losing their legs, losing their arms, and that's just, I'm not going to.
Right.
At least there's not that. There's always a step deeper you could go, I feel. But I'm also struggling again with cocaine. I used to smoke crack a lot. I was introduced by my father with that.
Right.
But I started shooting cocaine again now that it's back on the market. For quite a while it's been bath salts, and it just wasn't my twist. Something you lose control of yourself or your body, and that's just not something that I'm into. So I was fortunate enough to stay away from that for a while, but I've since given up the crack and started shooting coke again. A little bit of meth here and there.
Right. So you have, what would you say is your primary habit that you have?
Speedballs, fentanyl, trank, and cocaine.
So you have three, you know, tough habits to maintain every day, right?
Yes.
It's no joke. How do you work?
I do not work.
You know, on this channel.
Technically.
Okay, I hear you. On this channel, we don't shame nobody. We know what the girls do out here, but we just try to educate other women who thinking about coming down here with this lifestyle come with. So how do you make money?
I'm a sex worker on the Avenue.
Okay, we don't judge you for that. We know you wouldn't be doing that if you weren't in your addiction.
That's
what drugs
correct.
would do. Right. So that's very dangerous doing that, right? What has been your worst experience that you have seen or that you have heard about or that has happened to you?
Personally, I've been kidnapped. I was held against my will for 18 days. Chained in a basement. I was fed drugs. Sodomized, raped by multiple men, burned with cigarettes, the whole nine. That was my worst experience. My most recent was just a few days ago. Actually, he picked me up. We were in agreement with everything, and he started driving a little far. So I said, hey, where are we going? He said, look, we're only a couple minutes away. I'm just driving up this block right here. And when he does pull over, he pulls out a gun, he puts his gun in my mouth, and he's like, you're gonna do this regardless. And when I heard him cock back the gun, I didn't hear no bullet drop down into the chamber. So something told me, you might have a shot. I'm gonna wait for the train to go by.
Right. So you know how it goes.
So I was hesitant, but I reached up and I grabbed the handle, and the handle broke right off into my hand. Now, he was planning on raping me. He told me not to scream, nothing, or he was going to blow my head off. But in the back of my head, I kept saying I didn't hear no bullet enter into that chamber. So when he leaned my seat back, I grabbed in the back seat. And lucky for me, that popped right open. And I just thank you to dancing when I grew up. I did that from 2 to 17, by the way. Competition tap.
Awesome.
So I'm a little flexible still. Did a back roll right into the back seat and right out the back door. And it told me that I've made the right decision because he didn't even try to stop me.
Wow.
He just sped off when I got out of the car. So unfortunately that meant I had to walk back home.
Damn.
Down here from Bustleton and Roosevelt Boulevard, but
Sucks. What type of car was he driving?
he was driving a green four-door Honda.
Can you give a description of him so that way we might be on the lookout for him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a older Puerto Rican gentleman, I would say late 40s to late 50s. Salt and pepper hair, clean cut, skinny.
Wow. Did you report any of this incidents to the police?
No.
Why not?
Out here a lot, there's plenty of times where us girls either being robbed, raped, held at gunpoint, knife point. We're called liars. You know what I mean? And a lot of people look at it as, oh, that's your own fault. You put yourself in that predicament. So if something bad happened to you, you know, that's really on you. Like, if you can see we're on a residential block right now. I could be screaming help from an alleyway over here, and there's plenty of people, plenty of cars, somebody's home, and nobody even comes out to check, is this real, what's going on, or not? And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely is. You crying for help and there's no help coming.
No.
That's definitely scary. How do you stay safe out here?
I carry pepper spray. I carry a knife. I try my best to let, you know, a few, I'll say friends, and I'll use that word very lightly. At least let somebody know where I'm going.
Right, exactly.
And even if there's days out here where sometimes you don't make no money and you're out here for a couple hours, but I'll try to check in. I know I've been gone for too long. Hopefully somebody's a little worried, and I'll at least go check in like, yo, everything's all right, I'm still alive. So whether or not somebody cares, at least it makes me feel a little better, because I know at least maybe if somebody, like my mother, people will see on my Facebook, my mom posting, and she just wants to know if I'm alive or well. So even if that information can get to her because nobody has seen me, then that's the best thing could come of it, whether or not they're worried or not.
Right. At
At least I've heard that people have passed on information to my mom when I haven't been on for a while. Yeah, she's okay. So.
How is the relationship with you and your mom?
It's strained and it's hard. She has been the only consistent in my life. She's the epitome of, you know, taking control of your life and being a hard worker and earning, and getting everything you want and earning it. You know, she's a cancer survivor. She's a strong woman, and it's unfortunate that I pushed her away due to that. I guess I was a teenager and I was scared that maybe if I lost her, it wouldn't hurt so much if I distanced myself from her. And that unfortunately has made it a lot easier for me to do so in my addiction. As I've gotten older, I have a child now, so those calls home to say, hey, I'm safe, are not so few and far between anymore. Here we go again. Because I know that's all she wants to hear. She just wants to hear my voice and know that I'm well. And that if I do ever need her and I make the decision to, you know, go down the right path, she's always there to support me. She's here to support me emotionally regardless, but, you know, maybe in a more financial and physical standpoint, the day I choose to actually get sober.
So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Montgomery County, Horsham.
So let's talk about Montgomery County. What are the good and the bad about where you're from?
I have nothing to complain about my childhood. I grew up in a nice area. I didn't want for nothing. I'm the youngest of 3 children by my mother. Her and my father did end up splitting up, but he was still around in my life, which was a good thing. And unfortunately, the bad is what took him out was his addiction as well. And I got to partake in that, so that was that's where I saw the bad side. It's not in your face like it is down here.
Got you.
It's very much hidden.
So now, a lot of people want to come out here to Kensington. What are the do's and don'ts about Kensington from your perspective?
Don't come to Kensington. Mind your business for the most part. I'm still a firm believer in I will not allow other people to change my character. So just because somebody's looking down on somebody doesn't mean that they don't deserve help too. You can't go by somebody else's opinion of somebody, because like I said, a lot of things happen out here and you're not sure what happened to that person for them to react like that. You know what I mean? It's so hard to say. You can't be too friendly with everybody. Mm-hmm. You can't be in a one-upper trying to top somebody's story. It invalidates them. You know what I mean? Things like that, I feel like us as addicts, we take a lot harder than maybe somebody who's not addicted. Like, our addictions come from our mental and our emotional. The drug use is just a symptom. A lot of us, like I said, I will never point my childhood as the reason why I get high. I will point to my mental state and my emotional state as to why I continue to turn to drugs, because it's clear that I haven't found the proper way to cope with that.
Gotcha. Understood. It's a struggle, you know, it's the toughest fight of anyone's life. So what all have you lost due to your addiction?
I have an 8-year-old daughter I haven't seen in 4 years. Fortunately, I've been able to see my mother. Time.
Gotcha.
Jail.
How many times have you been incarcerated?
I've lost count.
What were some of the charges?
Delivery, manufacturing, unauthorized use, receiving stolen property, possessions.
Right.
I do have two prostitution cases.
Gotcha. What are some of your triggers?
It's a good question. I struggle with anxiety when I'm not using. I think it's more than I like to let on. I beat myself up a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. And unfortunately, I've been here so many years. I came down here in 2009. We're going into 2023.
Yeah.
And I made one attempt to get clean, really. So as hard as this life can be, it's the easy route to go. I've normalized abnormal behavior and abnormal thoughts that most people, you think like, what the fuck, that doesn't make sense. Addiction's not logical. It's not logical at all.
What's your living status right now?
I am living on the street. I got a tent. This has just been recently, since it started getting cold out. A friend of mine, her mom comes down every week. She's very close with me. She brought us a tent, she's brought us blankets, she brought us clothes. You know, she comes down, she give out food, coffee, and things like that every week. So my mom also just reached out to a friend of mine who's been clean for 6 years that is also in contact with me, and my mother is willing, if I need anything, that this friend of mine could go out to my mom's and pick it up, and she could bring it down to me. So, but there's the Women's Center, there's Prevention Point, there's a lot of churches. Right. So there.
What about the shelters? Have you tried getting yourself in a shelter life?
All right. So just within the past week, I put myself on a waiting list for the shelter through Prevention Point.
That's great. This winter is going to be brutal.
The winter, yes, it's already here. You know, this ain't fall weather at all. And I like the way Prevention Point runs it, because that's what a lot of things that keeps addicts away from shelters is that curfew, that fact that, you know, like if I'm sick, I can't leave. And if I leave, I can't come back. Well, they nix that right out of there, you know. There's you still even have a 3-day limit if you're not in your bed. They will hold it for 3 days, but you have to check in on that 3rd day. Because sometimes, we get caught up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you want to go visit your family. Now you have the opportunity to do that.
Right.
And then on the other side, they're going to help you with housing, which I've struggled with watching all these new people been out here 3-5 years because they chose to pitch a tent under a bridge. They got housing. I've been out here since '09, and because I didn't decide to pitch a tent under a bridge, Emerald, Kensington,
right.
Tulip, that I'm not offered that same luxury. I don't think that's fair.
What does a typical day out here look like for you?
Most days I don't, I'm not waking up. I'm up usually 3-4 days at a time. I try my best when I do go to sleep to have something in my pocket because, I'm probably not even going to get up to use the bathroom until I have a shot in me. That's just realistic. I do a lot of, I try to maintain some type of routine. There's places that hand out coffee in the mornings. There's some places that do breakfast, depending on what it's looking like. But if I have to get up out of bed and hit the avenue first, unfortunately, that is some days. Because that's why I told you I use the word friends lightly, because it's usually the ones closest to you that's robbing you, and you'll wake up, even though your stuff is tucked, it's gone. Yeah.
So let's drop some words of wisdom and we'll be done, okay?
Yeah.
If you can do one thing differently in your life, what would that be?
If I could do one real thing different, I'd be a mother to my kid.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. That's the best you can be, a mother to your child.
I'm at 32 years old and I still want my mommy.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how my daughter feels.
So what have you learned over your lifetime that you would like to share with the younger generation?
If your friends are putting substances, be it alcohol, marijuana, pills, anything, if they're putting that in your hand and allowing you to be in that situation, that's not the friends you want to have.
Facts.
Your friends are supposed to be telling you no.
Right.
Like when I was young and I started smoking cigarettes and my best friend got mad at me for smoking cigarettes, boy, she didn't talk to me for a month. That's the friend.
Right. Absolutely.
I've since lost her. She's married. She just bought a house, I saw, and she don't pay me the time of day. If I would have realized that back then, maybe I wouldn't have gone so far down the path that I did.
What are you most grateful for today?
Life.
Amen. Yeah, right. You're alive. I'm happy you're alive.
I'm breathing. I'm here talking to you.
Right.
I'm able to do this interview and
amen. You're helping make a difference.
Put some insight out there.
Right,
this
right.
shit's no joke.
Do you follow any religious tradition?
I'm a Christian. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you believe you'll go when you die?
I believe I'll go to heaven.
Amen. I pray you do. Halloween or Christmas, which one are you?
Halloween.
Why?
I like that time of year. I'm into all that, the horror movies, I've since gotten sad feelings for Christmas. It's not as happy as it once was. When I was littler, getting presents,
Yeah.
Like I said, I got a child that I'm not there to give gifts to, Like my mom's playing Elf on the Shelf with her. So It resonates more with sadness for me. Halloween, I still got to see the kids in their costumes and little stuff like that still makes me smile.
Beautiful.
So I'm still grateful for that.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Yo, shout out to the Virgo. Show your sign some love. What are some of your favorite foods?
Favorite. All right, come on. All us addicts out here know that us dopers like our fucking sugar. So that's why the quick stop would be a long ass line out the door, 0 degrees outside for ice cream. Okay, so ice cream, cereal,
Got you.
Keeping it simple.
Right, right. Do you have a favorite band or artist you listen to?
Oh my God, I was blessed to see 21 Pilots back in September, thanks to a good friend of mine.
That's
who
awesome.
is, you know, he's not on drugs, and he's, you know, pushing for me to, you know, make the right decision.
That's a good
and he's
friend.
going to be there to help me. I stay with him once a week to get off the street,
Oh, that's
actually.
good.
But yeah, he took me to see 21 Pilots. That was on my bucket list, and
Awesome.
they topped what I could have ever imagined it to be. So,
Right. When you was a little girl, what do you want to become when you grow up?
when I was little, what did I want to do? Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to be a Broadway dancer when I was
Awesome.
a younger kid.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Awesome. Now, if you had to pick one or the other, if you had to pick to fly or to be invisible, which one would you pick?
To fly or be invisible? To be invisible.
Why?
Because I want to know what goes on after I've left.
Right, see who's talking crap about you,
Or
right?
whatever the case. Yeah. What people actually do when somebody's not watching.
Oh, okay, right.
That's who you really are.
That's
You are
deep.
truly yourself when nobody else is watching.
Facts. You're absolutely 100 right about that. Now, are you currently in a relationship?
No.
What do you look for in a partner?
Trust, honesty. Without that, you got nothing.
Right.
It's the reason me and my most recent girlfriend broke up, because she couldn't tell me the truth.
What are your short-term goals now?
My short-term goals currently, I am working on starting this prep program in Prevention Point to get back on methadone. I have goals for that coming up this month,
Awesome.
November. And just to get in the shelter, try to get off the street and get some warmth this winter.
Yes, because a lot of people die from the cold out here. People
yeah.
freeze to death. So if your friends and your family see this video, what message would you like to send to them?
That I'm not going to beat you in the head with "I'm sorry," but I'm trying. All right, I could just say that. Although I may not show I love y'all, I still do. I still have those feelings of love. I'm just incapable of showing that in the best way I know how.
Got you. Do you have a skill or talent that we need to know about?
Yes. I speak sign language, so anybody that needs an interpreter for their interview, I'm your girl. Love you.
So this want to take us home, Liz. There are a lot of people in this world who judge people who are struggling with addiction. What's your message for the world?
Fuck you.
Okay, hey, you know,
What you eat
Don't
don't make
judge.
me shit.
absolutely. So I want to let you know that you matter right there. No matter what your situation is, you have friends and family who love you, and
Matter
you know
too.
you deserve a normal life. Is there anything you're in need of that we can help you with?
Not at the current.
Okay. AML family, pray for our girl Liz.
Yeah,
you know
please.
she's part of us now. We're going to stay connected with her. And remember, guys, don't be bitter. Be better. Until next time, we out there. Peace out.
Peace.